Go.
In the last 50 years, 48% of trees have been cut down in California. This number is only expected to grow in the coming years. Because of the high numbers of trees being cut down, it is important to acknowledge why this is happening. Today I will discuss the methods used, why it is important to conserve our old groves, and the legal aspect of deforestation. Slashing and burning is the main type of method of removing trees. It is a quick method and clears out all remaining plant life as well. This type of technique will also release the nutrients from burning trees back into the soil. This procedure usually takes place between June through October. Selective logging is the thinning of woodland. This process involves cutting down and removing certain trees to make a wider space between those trees and ground level vegetation for the purpose of agriculture. This allows enough shade for those crops to grow adequately, and this method allows the forest to regrow quickly. It also leaves less debris behind compared to clear cutting. The National State Parks of California use this technique for restoration thinning. Clear cutting is a type of deforestation that is used to create an edge habitat or will be used for creating farmland. It is this process that helps plants to create a variety of plant life and also provides an abundant amount of materials. However, regeneration is an issue because deforestation happens much more quickly than the growth of woodland. Gillian Baker states in an article in Environmental Chemistry Letters that trees not only help to control the carbon in the air, but also the below ground conditions. The carbon is sent down the tree and into the roots and into the soil, which is then used to regulate the temperature and transfer to younger trees. This is essential for tree regeneration. According to the National Park Service, research shows the difference between our old groves and new groves are vital to how much carbon is in the air. The difference between an old growth and a new growth is when a previous forest has been let to regrow back after being harvested. These new growths are often dense and lack plant diversity. Due to the dense trees, as little sunlight reaching the forest floor. An old growth that has been left intact for a number of years is likely protected or already owned by an organization. An old growth has much more plant diversity than a new growth would, and isn't so densely populated. With the two described, the issue then goes into the legality of deforestation and how other countries handle it. The U.S. Department of Agriculture states that we have certain laws to protect our forests. The National Historic Preservation of 1966 is a perfect example, which ensures protection of the archaeological resources and sites on public and Native American lands. Elizabeth Hunt explains in places like the European Union, laws have been passed to ensure the protection of forests, with some still in discussion. Imposing laws on imported wood is one, which will force the producer to comply with those laws. In regard to this, laws passed to conserve the woodland will not go into effect until 2025. According to an article by Tiago, an author in environmental research, the laws in Brazil have been greatly loosened over the years due to politicians being pressured to revise the regulations as companies complain about being fined. Currently, the laws regarding deforestation are vague, with no clear regulation, allowing companies and farmers to cut down trees in the manner that they choose, with no regulations regarding regeneration. Legally, this is a debate that's been going on for years and will likely continue in the future. In summary, slashing and burning, clear cutting, and selective logging are all types of deforestation methods used throughout the world with possible negative effects on the environment. Registration practices help in some instances, depending on the methods used to cut down those trees. In conclusion, deforestation is commonly used throughout the world and will continue to be used with varying methods for varying purposes. Regardless of the laws in place in the US and European Union, deforestation will continue with little restrictions around the world, potentially causing changes to the ecosystem. Thank you.
Very good.